Today, I got a little bit of an interesting episode for you guys. Do something a little bit different that I've never done before. We've never done on this channel. These, I know they're not all fletched the same colors, but they're fletched with the same fletchings. These are the arrows that I've been shooting. I shot these all through last season. I shot these through the early parts of this summer, some of the archery shoots that we've gone to. And these are the RIP TKOs from Victory Archery and 300 Spine Victory V1s. Then they're just phenomenal. I got them fletched with the AAE hybrids. As most people are pretty much well aware, these are they're high-end arrows. They're not cheap. Some of you guys will know I just won these guys. Now these are from Deer Crossings Archery, the DCA arrows. Now these are a lot cheaper than those Victory arrows. These Rupture Series 250 spine, really similar. I haven't shot them a bunch, but in everything that I can tell, they shoot pretty much the same, if not a little bit better, in my opinion. Now, granted, that's only after like 20 arrows than the RIP TKOs. So I thought, you know, let's make a video and test the difference between them. I also decided, you know what? I've got price range. I've got one of the most expensive. I've got sort of a mid-tier, as well as I've got these guys. Now, some of you guys might know them. They're the Sportsman's Warehouse brand. You can get these there. This is actually where I picked these up today. And they are the Vital Impact carbon arrows. I had them cut stuff today, and I picked them up and they are ready to go. These are 300 spine. They're listed as an 8.8 GPI, and honestly, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. They seem to spin pretty good, but you never know until you shoot them. Which of these guys performs better? Three completely different. Is it worth buying the most expensive arrow out there, or are you going to be able to just get by with the cheaper guys? What we're going to do is we're going to shoot groups of 6 until I've shot 100 shots with these arrows, and then I'm going to give my honest opinion on how they perform, how well they're shooting, and what we think of it. I'm not going to shoot any of the other brands until I can get through 100 shots with just these guys at 40. We might change the ranges a little bit, but I've got kind of initial impressions, and right out the bat, there's nothing that stands out to me. Everything seems like it's just pretty comparable. However, I'm going to shoot through and get 100 shots up. Then we'll move on to the other arrows and we'll do the exact same thing, the exact same opinions. I think I want to try to keep everything as uniform as possible. So I might do like 50 shots at 40 and 50 shots at 60. Just keep everything casual, and see how that goes. All right, guys, that's 6 shots down with these Vital Impacts. Let's go down and see how we did. We got a long ways to go before we get to 100, but that's the plan. Let's get it done. That's our first group. These 4 seem a little bit tighter. Looks like we had a couple that kind of pushed a little bit to the left. I was aiming dead center. These guys are obviously shooting higher than my other arrows, but dude, that group's not bad. We got a long way to go though, so we're gonna start cranking out some shots with these guys, and we're gonna keep track. It's gonna be 100 shots each, so let's get after it. Let's see how we do, and I'll keep you guys posted. This is 42 shots in, and the group's actually tightened up a little bit. You know, I can fit 2 hands around it for sure. It's solid. I'm definitely starting to stack some more arrows. They get carried. They just do. But regardless, I'm happy with that. Let's keep going. 60 yards, #1 arrow. I don't know if the lower number means it's good or bad, but regardless, we're sending it down there, and let's see how it goes. This is actually a solid group. This might be my best group at 60 yet. Check this out. It's kind of in two sections. Now this is with the wind. These are the ones that you could tell when the wind kind of was in its peak. That's when those ones, they kind of got carried a little bit. But that's ultimately, I mean, if these were moved over in the same line, that's a solid group. Even still, at 60, a group like this is solid. I mean, especially with arrows that are costing like $8 a piece, $8 or $9 a piece. So I'm stoked with it. Let's keep going. We're coming to a close with these arrows, and overall, I've been happy with them. There's not been anything that sticks out as, you know, that don't shoot these arrows or don't, you know, that they're no good or whatever. I've honestly, I've been happy with them so far. They've got a solid feel to them. Ultimately, they're just simple. Honestly, I'm shooting decent with these arrows. I can't say anything bad. If you're just getting into it and you're just, you know, on a budget, I think it's definitely doable to run these arrows and hunt with these arrows and have these arrows. Guys, that's 100 shots with these Vital Impact cheap arrows. My overall opinion on them after 100 shots of them is that they're definitely not as forgiving. If you want to shoot some of the more expensive arrows, seem to me they shoot a little bit, not necessarily straighter, but they're faster in my opinion. They're a little quicker, they cut through the wind better, and they get to the spot that you need them to. In the wind, these Vital Impact arrows aren't quite as straight. The wind tends to carry them, I've noticed. A little more than the other arrows. All of your arrows on a windy day, they're going to get pushed around, is how it works. But these arrows, they get pushed a little bit more. Now, I don't know exactly why. I'll be honest, and I can change it. I don't necessarily love the knock fit on these, how they clip to my bow. I would want to loosen it up a little bit. These are a lot fatter than the arrows that I've been shooting. But these arrows are exactly how you would get them from the store, from Sportsman's Warehouse, and that's exactly how I've been shooting them. If you're looking on a budget build, you might want to consider some of these arrows. If you don't have the money to spend, you know, the $20 on some of the high-end arrows, these seem to be shooting pretty good. One of the things I want to show you guys is this guy. I had a couple people ask what it is. I actually got it at the Bow Disciples Challenge. It is Sight Saver by Archery Evolution. Ultimately what it does is it allows you to, I have a back bar on this bow as well as a front bar, so I can lay my bow down on the front bar, back bar, and that top peg. It comes with a couple weights if you need it to be, you know, to balance your bow. My bow's actually pretty balanced without it. I mean, he literally in front of us put all his weight on it. It fully supports everything. They come in a couple different sizes, but I love it. It's actually been really fun. You know, I mean, it helps even leaning your bow up against the wall. You don't have to lean the put your limbs up against the wall and scuff them up or anything like that. But I like it. I've been happy with it. I'll drop their link in the description of this video. Go check those guys out. He's a great guy, and they do a lot of cool stuff. So go check them out and get yourself one and leave them a review. Let them know how you like it. Back today, new arrows. Today we're shooting these guys. These are the DCA arrows. These are the Rupture series. 250 spine fletched with the Blazer fletchings. These are the arrows that I won at that Bow Disciples shoot. And honestly, they shoot freaking sweet. I've been super happy with them so far, but we're gonna get 100 shots up with them today. See how they shoot. Got a target at 40 right now, and we're gonna keep on sending some shots down there, see how well we can do. The truth is, in my mind, these are the arrows that I hope win. I think they're a little bit more forgiving than those Vital Impact arrows that we were shooting. But regardless, we're gonna see. First group at 60. This is actually a group of 12. I've got more of these arrows, so I'm gonna shoot a little more to speed up the process, not take so many trips walking back and forth. These are stacked in, that's in there. Ultimately, it seems pretty solid. I mean, there's a couple, like this one dropped down, got this one out a little left. It looks like the vast majority of the group is to the left. You can see I had to repaint that last night. Some of these farther yardages, I genuinely couldn't see it. So don't judge my poor attempt at repainting this, but I can see it, and that's all that matters. But ultimately, this group seems pretty solid. A smidge to the left. The height is really good though. It's just I want to get it bumped over to the right, like probably 2.5 inches. You know, the average seems to be here. I want to get it more here, obviously, but regardless, where it's shooting right now is solid. So let's get these pulled. Let's get back there. We ultimately got a few more shots left, but let's get some more shots up and see how we do the rest of the night. This group's actually really good. Definitely starting to get tired. We're 74 shots into this thing. And I clicked it over just a skosh. I think that the middle's pretty much dead on. However, the stuff's a little bit low, but ultimately I think that's my own fault. This shot up top was my flyer. I pulled that one. It was my last shot. I was definitely getting pretty fatigued, but you know, this guy here pulled that one a little bit. Regardless, I think that's a solid group at 60. But let's get them pulled, and we'll get the rest of these shots up tonight, and that'll be a wrap for these arrows. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is a lot of shots for me, shooting in a row, just in succession, one after another. But it's really good practice. Me and Connor have a video coming up that we're going to attempt to each of us shoot 500 shots in one day. I'm honestly not sure how well we're going to be able to do that, but we are excited. It's going to be a cool little challenge. Ultimately, right now, this time of year, me and Connor are trying our hardest to push ourselves, to really test our archery limits, get everything set up for this archery season. I'm going to finish these shots. I got 26 more shots to go with these arrows, but ultimately, it's still too early to tell because I want to get through the full 100, but I want to keep an open mind with them. But ultimately, I think these shots are a lot more forgiving. You know, even just at 60, I've shot a lot more arrows just dead center. I've had less flyers. These DCA arrows have a lot, they seem to be a lot more just uniform. And so everything that I do, definitely, it all seems to be tighter. But I don't know. That's my opinion so far. I still want to get through these shots, and I still want to shoot the other arrows before I come to a hard conclusion, at least for myself and for my own opinion. But where we're at right now, I have to give it to these arrows. But let's get through these shots and see where we land. All right, you guys, we are down the last three. So far, my honest opinion is that these arrows are really solid. That's 100 shots with those arrows. Overall, my honest opinion on them is that they shot really well. So far, we've shot these Vital Impacts, which are just Sportsman's Warehouse special, as well as these DCA Rupture Series arrows, which I think at the moment I gotta give them to the DCAs. They shot really well for me. You know, the Vital Impacts are definitely simpler, but I think these shoot a little bit tighter. I'm also getting a little bit more speed out of them. Up next is my tried and true, the RIP TKOs from Victory Archery, and I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Solid group actually. No issues. Got one pulled, but other than that, I can pull the arrows in to fit them around. But almost can fit with my hand around them. That's a solid group. I'm cool with that. 7 shots. Let's get them pulled and keep shooting. This might be one of the weirdest groups that I've ever shot. So these are my first shots, and they actually, on impact, they spun the target, and then these were my second 2, and these are my last 2, basically in at that angle. So first shot spun it, second 2 shots spun it even more, and then into those guys. Definitely goofy. Overall, still a good group. There's one that's a little bit higher, but other than that, they're all in a solid spot. So let's get them pulled and keep shooting. Yesterday we had to call it. It was just too windy. You know, I don't mind shooting in the wind, but I mean at 40 yards on your release when you're getting blown over 6 or 8 inches. It's a lot of wind. First group of the morning, 40 yards. Boom, not too bad. Pulled this one, it seems. Other than that, decent little group. Not phenomenal, but still solid. First group of the day. We got a bunch more to shoot as well. Overall, these RIP TKOs, they shoot fast. They're my lightest arrows that I've got, and you know, speed kills. So there's a lot to be said about shooting fast arrows. It's a solid group as well, but let's get them pulled. Let's move on. All right, we got a few more shots with these rips, and overall they're shooting pretty good. These are my fastest arrows. They're the lightest ones I got. I've shot these before. I know how they shoot, know how they feel. Shooting a much more aggressive helical on these. But I think the biggest thing that I'm noticing is the faster arrows, the nicer arrows, they're a lot more forgiving. The cheaper arrows, not nearly as forgiving. If you pull it, if you punch it, dude, it sends that thing freaking sailing. So, in my opinion, that's going to be one of the biggest things. That these are a lot more forgiving, and I have a lot less just seemingly random flyers. But overall, these are shooting pretty good. And I'll be honest with you, I can't tell at this point in time. I can't tell a huge difference between these and those DCA arrows. I like both of them, and if I had to choose right now, honestly, I'd probably go with those because they are half the price. But overall, they're both phenomenal arrows. You can't go wrong with either one. They're all in the insert of this little target, and it's pretty tight, I think. All of them, I mean, you can see in this little, I don't know if it's actually an insert, but all of them are in it. I would have to say that the winner is those DCA arrows because of the price. They shoot just as good as any of the arrows that I've ever shot, and just as good, if not better, while at the same time being on not the most expensive. So in my mind, I think that's got to be the winner. Second place, I would go with the RIP TKOs. They do shoot, I think, a little bit better than those Vital Impacts. And those Vital Impacts, I would say they held their own. They competed very well, just not quite at the level that I'm hoping for. So that's a wrap for this little challenge. I had a blast doing it. I love shooting. It pushed me to shoot my bow a lot more over these last couple days, and it was a lot of fun.